Thanks for joining me for another episode of the Great Red Capital Gains Shark. Today, we're going to be discussing Delaware Statutory Trusts, REITs, 1031 exchange techniques to get into those, and perhaps ways to save yourself from some of the hassle. So a 1031 exchange is a technique to grow real estate more often than not. And the problems with it are it's fairly restrictive. What it does is it gives you a capital gains advantage. It allows you to roll your basis into the new property that you select, but it does require you to take on additional debt and buy equal or greater number of properties of the same rough asset class. So it also doesn't feature any sort of contractual guarantees or any sort of estate planning overlays. So a 1031, that's a tried and true technique. A lot of professional real estate investors are aware of it, but it's really kind of a one-trick pony. It is designed to grow real estate. It's not really designed to be effective for transitioning out of real estate or transitioning to a less controlled real estate position. So let's talk about DSTs. Delaware Statutory Trust is a type of trust that allows for multiple properties and multiple owners while maintaining a REIT structure that allows for a 1031 exchange. Fairly expensive, as you might expect. You have to pay a trustee. You also have to administer the trust and then manage all the properties at the same time. So hopefully you get some pretty good income out of it. But the problem with the DST is that you're locked into that cycle. Once you make that bed, you have to lay in it for however long it takes. REITs can be kind of the same. It was before Delaware Statutory Trust, you only had a real estate investment trust. You may run across both of those because a REIT is not allowed to have a 1031 exchange funded. That is just for straight after-tax consideration. And really, a REIT was designed for the small investor to be able to invest in commercial properties, along with many other small investors. It's not really a 1031 tool. So it also has a lot of the same failures that a DST does for estate planning, as well as being, it can be highly illiquid, and you also don't have any incidents of control over it. Now, you can technically sort of backdoor yourself into a REIT using a 1031 exchange, and that is what they call a Section 721 UPREIT. And in broad strokes, what you do is you buy yourself a property that is going to be acquired by a real estate investment trust. And then when that REIT buys the property, instead of giving you cash, well, they give you shares of the REIT. So it's a one shot, one go kind of deal. You can never 1031 after that. But again, I'd question the utility of 1031 exchanging into a REIT in the first place, because 1031 exchanges are primarily a growth tool. If you would like income out of your property with no management requirements, then I'd encourage you to investigate the installment sale trust quite a bit more. It's a lot more reliable income. It's very liquid, and you have all of the incidents of ownership and control that you can legally maintain with an arm's length transaction. So there's a lot of fallback provisions that you would never have with a DST or a REIT transaction. So thank you for your time, and any questions, let me know in the comment section.